has led the orchestra to new heights for the past 24 years and is constantly pushing the boundaries of what a symphony orchestra can be in the 21st century. Now another surprise. With us here today, please welcome to the stage from Metallica, Lars, Ulrich, and James Hetfield, and from the San Francisco Symphony, music director Michael Tilson Thomas.
Past your bedtime?
Oh, way past my bedtime. All right, we have a little question and answer period here with our performers for that first show. Once again, let's hear from Metallica and the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. My first question is to Lars. Now, Lars, I've got to ask you, what does it mean to play back in the Bay Area, and specifically here in San Francisco?
Well, it's been obviously, having been based here for 37 years, 36 years, it's great to be back and celebrating this. The last couple of appearances we've done in the Greater Bay Area, we played at the ballpark down the street. I believe it's been renamed in the last couple of months, the Oracle Ballpark now. And so that was a couple, 2-3 years ago, and a year or two after that, we played over at the Fox Theater in Oakland for our good friends over here. And so what we love about playing at home in San Francisco, a couple years before that we played at Rasputin's record store in Berkeley, is every time play someplace different, and that every appearance has a different flavor. So to be part of the celebrations and the opening night festivities right here behind us is obviously amazing, and the fact that San Francisco finally has a world-class arena is an amazing thing. No disrespect to obviously the Cow Palace, but where we have played many times back in its heyday.
Right.
But it's nice that that we have a new facility that's right here in San Francisco itself, and so the fact that we've been invited by the organization to be a part of this opening night is an amazing thing. And as somebody who's championed San Francisco for 35 years, it makes us incredibly proud.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the Cow Palace. I mean, and you're opening Chase Center with the San Francisco Symphony. The last time the Warriors played on this side of the bay in a game of any import was actually at the Cow Palace when they won the World Championship in the spring of '75, beating the Washington Bullets. So
How do you know that?
You
just like,
I'm a Daly City native, so I remember everything that happens in Daly City.
you just spit that out like that. It's amazing.
Oh, yes, he is.
But to Lars and James, obviously you've done this before, and we're acknowledged for it by the Grammys. But what is the difference, and what is it like, a rock band of your reputation performing with the San Francisco Symphony?
There's more people on stage.
Yeah,
for sure. And there's actually real musicians on stage.
Don't tell anybody that part.
And we're a lot more nervous, but it adds to the power. It adds to the opportunities for dynamics, for creating moods with the music, bringing people in, walls of sound, all kinds of great opportunities added by having, a symphony along with you, along for the ride. It's a beautiful opportunity, and, we're super proud that after 38 years, there's still cool things like this on the horizon for us, and we're still able to explore and have some fun with some new friends.
All right, I've actually got a question for Michael. Now, Mike, on the other hand, how does a symphony orchestra come to play with a band like Metallica? How do you prepare for that?
Oh, that was two questions. You said, how does it happen to happen?
How do you come to play with?
Well,
a group
wasn't
like
there? I
Metallica?
think Nat King Cole had a big hit in 1950, which, as I recall, went something like.
Tanel, do you know the name,
Come
Mr.
on.
Trivia?
Yeah, it went. I was wandering along, minded my business, went out of an orange-colored sky.
Can anybody Shazam that?
Wham, bam, alakazam. Wonderful you came by. I think it was something like that.
Wow, fantastic.
It was a wonderful, unexpected surprise and opportunity at the confluence of this great new building, and being able to reach back into the symphony's shared past with Metallica. My own experiences, I've done quite a lot of big shows from places like the Sydney Opera House that have been all over, and of course I worked on quite a number of projects with George Martin back in my London days with various bands. So yes, it's really about the wall of sound of this, but it's also very much what we hope, even in the kind of scarily creative conversation we were just having, the three of us, is to explore some questions of how the many different families of instruments that are in the orchestra, many different sounds and textures and brass and winds and percussion, and all these things can be used in the interesting multi-layered musical dialogue, which is really what Metallica's music is all about.
And you're gonna sing one of them, right?
It's a duet.
Voice.
It's a duet.
Okay.
It's a duet.
I'll send you the lyrics to Sandman. It'll
I'm
be
ready.
good.
So as artists, for all three of you, and bringing up the Cow Palace again, artists have never had an opportunity to perform in San Francisco in a world-class arena such as this, in an arena the size of this, formerly just the Cow Palace, at whatever it is. So what does that mean for not only you, but for different artists to have that opportunity to perform in a facility such as Chase Center in a city like San Francisco? Any of you?
Yeah, beautiful. Well, we get to travel all over the world, and we've seen quite a few arenas, and it's always been a shame that there hasn't really been the place, back where our headquarters is. So now there is, and we're super glad. Thanks for building it for us.
I've actually got another question for Michael here. Mike, now that this is the second show at Metallica, are you going to get a few tattoos?
Show him the one
How
you
do you
already
know he
have.
doesn't have any already?
As I still have the vague hope of being buried in a Jewish cemetery, that probably won't happen.
No, but that's a good question too, because when you think of the symphony, obviously the beautiful music created by the San Francisco Symphony, what does your rock collection look like at home, Michael?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot of selenite, wolfenite, quartz, fluorite. I was really into it when I was a teenager.
I'll ask Lars and James, what does your symphonic collection look like?
It's the full circle.
S&M. I have S&M.
So this will be the first S&M event at Chase Center.
Yeah, this will be, yeah. Well,
The Symphony of Metallica.
Yeah. You're talking about Symphony and Metallica.
Absolutely.
Okay. The S&M room is something else.
You know, it's funny.
That's where you
Never
warm
mind,
up.
never mind.
It's funny because on our lines of questioning here, I'm getting the wrap-up sign already. So,
Oh, we're just getting started. No, I'd like to say that what happens to me is Joshua calls up and says there's a concert at the Symphony, come over. Michael is conducting this Mahler thing of this incredible piece, and I show up, and every time I was down a month ago, and every time it's an incredibly enriching experience. And to celebrate the final year of Michael's incredible residency here in San Francisco, 25 years plus, with a kickoff that we're finally doing a creative project together, not just with the symphony and with the orchestra, but with Michael himself. And like Michael was just alluding to, we've been standing backstage in the green room and already throwing ideas at each other. And the next 6 months, we've got the work cut out for us, but it's going to be a very special evening, and it's also going to be a very, I think, different evening than it was in Berkeley in 1999. And so that part is also really exciting.
well, I'm getting the wrap-up sign here. So thank you to Lars, James, and Mike for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you and other band members, Kirk and Robert. I hope to see them here on that very special night.
Be able to show up.
Here in September, I hope.
Thanks everybody for joining us today, not only here in person, but also on NBC Sports Bay Area and at chasecenter.com. Stay tuned, because all week, and Rick referred to this is Reveal Week. This is simply the first event of a week's worth of reveals by the Warriors in Chase Center. So there'll be a different reveal every day this week. So please join us for each day to know what's going to be going on the initial events here at Chase Center. And have a great afternoon. Thanks again for being here.
And a reminder, tune in to chasecenter.com all week. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thank you, guys.
Watch this space.